Just a couple of 100 kilometers away from the fighting in eastern Ukraine, there's a very different battle being fought in Crimean. It's being drained dry. Now, the North Crimean Canal is the peninsula's main supply, but the access to the river, which is right here, has actually been cut off by Kiev's orders, seen as a political pressure after the region reunited with Russia. That means residents going without basic supplies, as Neil Harvey reports.
For the people of Starry Crin, this is a big day. It's the day the water truck comes. And it brings the locals rushing to gather the only water they'll have for drinking, cooking and washing for the next 2 days.
When they shut down the canal, it created a situation that affects all of us. Today, for example, I washed myself and used half a bucket of water. I don't even have enough for a normal bath. And what about the farms? What will they do now?
This is 77-year-old Valentina, and her need for clean water is greater than most, because not only does she need it for herself, but also for taking care of her bedridden son.
You see, my son's paralyzed, and I have to keep the water I used to wash his bed sheets, because I'll need it for flushing the toilet.
For Valentina and her neighbours, these last 2 months have been tough. Within days, after Crimea rejoined Russia, Ukraine had cut off the water that runs into this region's main canal.
Just a few puddles of stagnant water, that's all that remains now in the North Crimean Canal. No longer does the fresh water flow into here from the river Dnieper, and that's a problem that's left the residents of this region high and dry.
And it's not just the public who've been suffering, with businesses like this vineyard also feeling the heat as it faces up to the prospect of a lost harvest.
No water is coming in at the moment. We had hoped some water would still continue to flow. There was some still trickling down, but recently we found that they'd used sandbags to block the canal.
Russian authorities have been trying to ease the problem by finding alternative sources of water, such as by tapping into underground wells. Long term, though, the solution will need to be a political one, and that shows no sign of coming soon.
We are ready to pay Ukraine to give us back our water. We prepared the agreement and met with them 6 times, but each time they say they don't like the agreement, that there is something wrong with it. So more time is wasted, and now it looks like Crimea will lose its crops.
Reporting from Crimea, this is Neil Harvey for RT.